Good afternoon everyone, and I hope you're all well. Welcome to this video where I'm going to be touching on how to start a recruitment business. I'm also going to be discussing what you need to set up, how you're going to set it up, and also how much you're going to look to make in recruitment and how long it takes. So in this video, we're just going to run it down through here. I've got, I think, about 8 slides to go through. So we're going to start off with what a recruiter does. And contrary to popular belief, most people think recruiters will be just finding people jobs. However, we actually look for the best candidate in the market and find them a better job than they're in. If you can do that, then obviously companies are going to pay you, and candidates are going to engage with you. There's no point coming across a good candidate but then offering them a bad position. So you need to find the best clients to work with and also the best candidates, and that's a sort of winning formula. So I just wanted to clear it up, give you an idea of what a recruiter does, or a very good recruiter does. And if you can pull that off and you have that skill set, chances are you can do very well. So what you're going to need, this is the basic sort of functionality and what you're going to need. So you're going to need a website. Now, a lot of people do operate or start off without a website, and chances are I track a lot of data when I send emails, or traffic goes out to my websites, and if I don't have a website, a lot of people do click because they want to see exactly, is this company reputable? Are they a registered company? Do they have all the right details? Are they in our specific niche? So it is important, and it is obviously you're going to need some hosting along with that. You're going to need a business email. You're going to need a phone line, and you're also going to need a LinkedIn page. So this is my five sort of essential in order to start off. Now the total cost of this is about £100, $100. So if you are looking to set up, I've made a few videos on that. If you need any help, let me know. But this can potentially be done in one day. Afterwards, if you need to, you can set up a registered company, you can set up a business account, and that's going to be in order for you to get paid. You'll also need other things as well, which I'm going to touch on now. And the two things you're going to need are clients and candidates. So, how to get your client? I do email only. A lot of the time, the other way is cold outreach. I've made a ton of videos on cold calling, and also my email method, which is called the 2 to 8 rule. I've made a video on that as well. Another further sort of option is your LinkedIn outreach. So you can either be messaging people on there. I know a few people have a lot of success in that, especially IT sector. LinkedIn is going to be a powerful tool for you to use. Now, also you can leverage your sort of referral network, and if you know people that are own businesses or need staff, obviously you can do them a sort of lower rate, work with them closely. I know a lot of people, if you look back at successful businesses, they're actually started on, you got that one client, your cousin works at, the NHS or something, and he gets you in and you start recruiting there. And then obviously, the contract is going to be quite valuable because, you've got an inside person in there, they're not going to mess you around. So it works really well with that. So if you can leverage your sort of personal network, by all means do it. Second thing, obviously clients, candidates are another thing. So how are you going to attract candidates? This is the sort of second part to the winning formula. So Indeed, the employer account is perfect. You're obviously going to use that. It's free. Indeed is the best job board, even better than the paid job board. So you need to make an account on there. You can post 10 free jobs at a time. So get an Indeed employer account. As long as you've got a website and a business email, they'll be able to set up on there. Second thing is LinkedIn X-ray search, which in order for you to find candidates on LinkedIn, you can use X-ray search instead of their paid packages, which is really good. It works really well. Sometimes I prefer it as well. So another thing touching on is what people forget is your personal network. So if you know someone that's a software developer or an electrical engineer, something that's really in demand, you can go to that and you can sort of say, look, I'll find you a new job, and approach companies from there. The other option is what you're going to go down probably when you get the ball rolling and money's coming in, is paid job boards. Usually they charge about £3,000 to £6,000 per year, and you can search their databases. They got millions of candidates and they spend a lot of marketing on that, so that's probably the best bet. And a lot of agencies just solely use the paid job boards to recruit. Now, another important thing that people overlook, it's I want to recruit for receptionists, and they think, okay, it's easy, loads of people apply. And sadly, in the UK, it's very competitive. The recruitment market is very competitive. With Indeed being free, employers can just post a job and get enough candidates than they want. So you want to make sure that you have an in-demand skill. With that being said, something that needs to be qualified, or 2 to 3 years experience with that. And the candidates shouldn't be sort of abundant. I touched on receptionists, unless there's a specific skill, like they have to be a receptionist that's got a 2 year background in legal or a law firm or a prestigious finance company, chances are that companies aren't going to use you for that. They'll just interview themselves and save a few £1,000s. So it is supply and demand with recruitment. Bear that in mind when you do it. The sector also needs to be evergreen. You don't really want to be recruiting for, I don't know, let's say there's self-driving cars, or let's look at the automotive sector. Diesel engines, they're dying off. In 5 years there's not going to be any diesel cars on the road, so you don't really want to recruit for mechanics that specialize in diesel. So it needs to be evergreen, and the general rule I say, it needs to last 2 to 5 years. And if you can find a sector now that's quite small, that is growing quite fast. So I'll give you an example. Cybersecurity is pretty small at the moment, but it's going to be blow up soon, in the next 2 to 5 years. And if you can sort of position yourself in the market where you've got a niche agency and you specialize in that, and yeah, it's going to be very scalable, which brings me on to the scalability point, which I spelled wrong. Is it? Yeah, scalable. I don't know if that's right. Anyway, so scalable in terms of, if you just pick cybersecurity, obviously you can scale out to infrastructure security, or general sort of database management, data analytics. You can scale into that afterwards. So you can hire a consultant that will work within your desk or within your company, and they'll have their own sort of division within your company. So you don't want to make a generalist agency. You want sort of subcategories inside your agency. So when you scale, some sectors might not do well, and you diversify yourself. So for example, if you're in healthcare, you might have a division for mental health, you might have a division for doctors, you might have a division for temporary staff. So you need to diversify in that way. Don't just start a healthcare agency and be a jack of all trades. You need to find a niche. It's very, very important, and it gives you the sort of when employers hear that, I'll give you an example. I had a language agency, and I was doing okay. And I niched down into German specific, and it was so easy to win business because it portrays yourself as being a specialist in that sector. And it doesn't matter if you're new. Companies don't say, I've never been asked how long has your agency been going. I used to actually have it in one of my scripts. I used to tell them how long we've been going, but no one really cared, so I just took it out from that. So how much can you make is the question. How long is a piece of string is what I definitely would say. You probably know before watching this video that recruitment is big money. You can essentially post an advert and get people to apply and then send their CV, and they got an interview Monday and they get the job Tuesday. So, and you can get paid, 10 grand for that. So it's very easy. Or you could get a lot of positions that you never fill and you've just wasted a lot of time. So it swings and roundabouts with that. So typically permanent placements end up being about 1,500 on the lower end. That's for very low skilled or very low salaried positions, or sectors where they don't pay too well to agencies, such as mechanics, some engineering roles, and also some construction positions from that. So they're usually high volume. So you could be doing 5-6 of these a month, but it sort of works out to one placement fee. I prefer the lower end. I prefer the sort of 2 to 6k. That's just a personal preference. I don't like doing those long term, really hard to find people sort of salaries. And yeah, 15,000 could be potentially one placement, somebody getting a job. That's not a joke. The highest, I'm lying because I've never made a 15 grand placement before. I've only made, I think it was 12 grand placements plus VAT. So that worked out really well with that, and that was actually within a month or two. So it wasn't too difficult, and I got a retainer off of that as well, which I'm not a fan of, but I took it anyway. So the lower range, you'll be looking to do around 2 to 4 placements per month once you get going. That's not from the first month. That's once you start, and after maybe your 6th month, 3rd month. Depending on how it goes and how many hours you're putting in, what your client base looks like, and what your niche is. if it's a sort of mid-range salary, so you're looking at maybe 40 to 60, 80 grand salary jobs, you can probably do one or two of those a month, depending. It might fall into one a month or one every 2 months. The sort of high range, you'll be looking at placing someone. Let's say you've got a very specialist doctor or surgeon. It might take you 3 to 6 months to find, or very niche sort of specific area and skill. These people are highly sought after. So if you wanted someone, let's say head of software development, that's on a 250k salary, or chief technology officer, you'll be looking at 3 to 6 months to sort of place that, but it's worth it. So you need a mix of these, so you get the normal sort of cash flow every month from the low range. You top it up with a little mid-range, and then sometimes a high range falls into that. That's the method I run down. That's what I teach in sort of coaching and sort of long-term mentorship. That's what I sort of teach, and that's the best way. You don't want to just aim for the really high range ones, because you might have some dry months. You might have months where you're always going to have 2-3 months no one gets placed. And also you don't want the low range, because you might only make 3 to 5 grand ever maximum. So you need those mid-range and a high range to top it up. So I hope that makes sense with that. And how long it will take, realistically, I have a sort of plan, that I have a blueprint that anyone follows. This is what I hear back. This is if I started an agency, what would sort of happen. So in your first month you'll just be getting clients. Second month you'll be trying to place those, things will go wrong, etc. And then your second month, towards the end, or the third month, your first invoice will go out. Usually they have about 30 days to pay off of that. So you'll probably see your first bit of cash in the first 3 months. That's not unheard of, that you can't. I mean, I done it in 9 days, and I documented it on YouTube. So if you do want to watch that sort of playlist, I'll link it at the description below, so you can watch all that. Typically in your first 3 months you should be making money. If not, you're doing something wrong. You're not going to getting a good service, you haven't got enough clients, and you're not filling those roles you've got on. 3 to 6 months you'll be looking to make anywhere from £2,000 to £6,000, and that's pretty much for everyone, depending on experience. I mean, I would look to start an agency and I'll probably be in that sort of range, and believe me, I've billed 50-60k per month before. Even if I started a new agency, that's what it would look like. To be honest, people that are saying on YouTube that you can make 6 figures in 6 months are ridiculous, and they've never done it before. They're not realistic. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to sell you a course with that. And you see a spike in month 8 to 12, usually around the 9th, 10th month. You can see one £10,000 month, and this is sort of average. This is if anyone does it and follows my methods. This isn't a superstar. You won't achieve this. A 10k month could come in your 6th month. It could come from one placement in your 3rd month, for example. So it just gives you a better picture of how long it will take to actually make some money from it. And once you hit a 10 grand month, you should be looking to hire someone. You might even be doing it in your sort of 6th month, or off the start of it. So yeah, I hope that clarifies and explains it. I do offer coaching, which I'm going to get to now. If you did want to book a call with me, I've got a very cheap price at the moment of £25 for 30 minutes. This can be done via Zoom. This can be done via Skype, on a sort of WhatsApp call. Wherever you are in the world, we can make it happen. If you wanted a £50 per hour, most people book 4 hours, 50 quid. So it's like £200. They book that and literally have a chat, and then we start off with set the agency up. Second call is we set up, getting the client. We got the client, great. Third call is find the candidates, and fourth call is how do we get a placement and find the right candidate, setting up interviews, etc. That's all you need. Once you have that, you don't have to spend thousands. If you do want to spend thousands, I'll be happy to take your money, because I offer a coaching package which is very, very sort of bespoke, very sort of set. No one's ever bought the £5,000 package, I'll be honest, but I don't know even if that's like me working with you full time as a business sort of partner. Every day we're talking, every day we got a plan. That's for, I don't think anyone's going to buy that from me, if I'm honest, at this stage. So yeah, if you wanted a sort of 6-week plan, sort of step to get you up and running the quickest way possible, I've set up multiple agencies. I'm still going to set up multiple agencies, and I'm going to document it all on YouTube, so everyone can see I can make placements. I've evidenced it. If you want to get the ball rolling, started, I hope this video helped. And if you've got any questions, drop me an email. My email is below. There's a nice playlist which shows me doing all of these methods, step by step. I think it's like 20 videos long, all the way from placement, from start, like no company, not even a name. I found a niche, I went into it, I picked it, and I made a placement for it. So it shows you getting clients, how I done it, etc. So hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a bit of a long one, but yeah, I just wanted to do another how to start a recruitment business video. Take care.